You're trying too hard. You're pushing, forcing, clawing your way toward success, but you're blind to the truth. Relaxation is the secret weapon. The more you chase, the further it slips away. But when you master the art of detachment, when you stop clenching your fists around life, everything starts to fall into place. This isn't about weakness. This is about power. Today, I'm giving you 10 undeniable reasons why embracing stillness will manifest everything you've been chasing. Let's begin. These videos require a lot of effort from me. Please help spread this ancient wisdom to more people. Hit subscribe, smash the like button, and drop a comment below. It's just one click, but it ensures you never miss powerful insights. Show support and help the algorithm bring this content to others. These thoughts could inspire or help someone else on their journey. Together, we can make a difference. Let's share knowledge and empower more people to take action. Number 1. Clarity is born in stillness. You are at war, not with the world, not with others, but with yourself. Every single day you fight against an invisible enemy. It haunts your thoughts, clouds your vision, and blinds you from the truth. It whispers in your ear, telling you to do more, to move faster, to struggle harder. It convinces you that the answer to your problems lies in force, in effort, in relentless pursuit. But that is a lie. And if you believe it, you will stay lost forever. Look at your life right now. Look at the thoughts that consume you, the doubts that weigh you down, the endless cycle of frustration you cannot seem to escape. You are drowning in noise. Your mind is restless, your actions are desperate, and your vision is blurred by the chaos inside you. You keep pushing forward, thinking that movement equals progress. But deep down, you know the truth. You are running in circles. You are chasing something you cannot see, something you cannot define, because you lack clarity. And without clarity, nothing you do will ever matter. You will keep making the wrong decisions, keep falling into the same patterns, keep wasting years of your life chasing illusions. But there is a way out. There is a way to break free, to finally see things as they are, to cut through the confusion and step into absolute certainty. It begins with stillness. The weak will never understand this. They will resist it. They will keep running, keep scrambling, keep suffocating under their own desperation. But you are not weak. You are here because you know something has to change. You are here because you are ready to take control. And if you have the courage to do what others cannot, then what you will gain in return is something more valuable than anything else: perfect clarity. The enemy of clarity is noise. Right now, your mind is filled with distractions. Social media, news, endless opinions from people who don't even know what they're talking about. Your head is a battlefield of conflicting thoughts, doubts, fears, and anxieties. You are constantly bombarded with information, constantly reacting, constantly jumping from one thing to another. And yet, you wonder why you feel lost. You wonder why you can't see the right path, why every decision feels uncertain, why no matter how hard you try, you can't seem to break through. It's because you have never been still. You have never stepped back from the noise long enough to hear your own thoughts, to listen to your own instincts, to separate the truth from the lies. You are caught in a storm of distractions, and until you silence that storm, you will never find your way. This is why the greatest minds throughout history, philosophers, warriors, leaders, have all understood the same truth. Wisdom is born in stillness. When you step back from the chaos, when you allow yourself to slow down, to breathe, to simply exist without reacting, something incredible happens. The fog begins to lift. The noise begins to fade. And suddenly, the answers that once seemed impossible to find become obvious. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop making desperate, fear-based decisions. You stop wasting energy on things that do not matter. Because you finally see the truth. Stillness is power. Weak people cannot handle stillness. They need constant stimulation, constant distraction, because they are too afraid to be alone with their own thoughts. They are terrified of silence, because in silence they are forced to confront themselves. But the strong embrace stillness. They know that true power comes not from frantic action, but from calculated, deliberate movement. They do not rush, they do not panic, they do not act out of desperation. They wait, they observe, they move only when the time is right, and when they do, they never miss. This is how you must begin to operate. This is how you will take back control of your life. You must train yourself to be still, to silence the distractions, to detach from the noise, to stop reacting to every little thing that happens around you. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. Your mind will resist. It will tell you to check your phone, to keep moving, to stay busy. It will try to convince you that if you stop, you will fall behind. Ignore it. This is the test. This is the battle you must win. Because once you do, once you master the ability to be still in a world that is constantly trying to pull you in 100 different directions, you will become untouchable. Your mind will be sharper, your decisions will be stronger, your energy will be focused only on what truly matters. And when that happens, the things you have been chasing, success, peace, fulfillment, will start coming to you. Look around you. Look at the people who are constantly struggling, constantly running, constantly exhausting themselves, trying to force things into place. They never win. They never find what they're looking for, because they are too desperate. The universe does not reward desperation. It rewards certainty. When you relax, when you let go of the need to chase, when you stop grasping so tightly at what you want, you create space for it to come to you. This is not magic. This is reality. When you are still, when you are calm, when you are grounded in absolute certainty, you become magnetic. You start making the right choices. You start attracting the right opportunities. You start moving through life with power instead of panic. This is what it means to manifest, not by force, not by struggle, but by becoming the kind of person who is ready to receive. And that begins with stillness. You are at a crossroads. Right now, in this very moment, you have a choice. You can continue as you are, lost in the noise, controlled by distractions, chasing endlessly after things that always seem just out of reach. Or you can step back. You can silence the chaos. You can embrace the stillness that weak people fear and become the master of your own mind. But understand this: if you do not choose stillness, you are choosing weakness. You are choosing to remain blind. You are choosing to stay trapped in a cycle of confusion and frustration. I am telling you this because I refuse to let you waste your life in the same way so many others do. It is time to take control. It is time to stop running. It is time to stand still and see. And when you do, when you finally experience the power of clarity, you will realize something. You were never lost. The answers were always there. You just had to stop long enough to see them. So what will you choose? Number 2, detachment unlocks true power. You feel the weight of your desires pressing down on you. It's unbearable. It consumes your every thought, dictates your every move, suffocates your very existence. You wake up thinking about it. You go to sleep wondering when it will come. You obsess over it, trying to grasp it, trying to control it, believing that the tighter you hold on, the sooner it will be yours. But what you don't realize is that your obsession is the very thing keeping it away from you. Look at the way the universe works. The sun does not chase the planets. They orbit around it naturally. The ocean does not cling to the shore. It ebbs and flows with effortless power. The most powerful forces in existence do not beg. They do not grasp. They do not chase. They command. They attract. And they do so because they have mastered the art of detachment. This is a truth that only the strongest understand. Power belongs to those who can walk away. Right now, you are afraid to walk away. You think that if you stop caring, if you stop trying, if you stop chasing, everything will slip through your fingers. That if you let go, you will lose it all. But let me tell you something you've never been told before. Letting go is the only way to win. Desperation is repellent. The more you chase something, the more it runs from you. This applies to everything: wealth, love, success, respect. When you operate from a place of neediness, the world senses it, people sense it, and they are repulsed by it. They will not follow the desperate. They will not reward the frantic. They will not respect the one who begs. But when you detach, when you remove the need, the obsession, the desperation, everything shifts. You become powerful in a way you never thought possible. You move through life with unshakable certainty because you no longer place your worth in things outside of yourself. You become a force that cannot be controlled because there is nothing that can be used against you. No loss can shake you. No rejection can break you. No outcome can define you. Because you have transcended need, and that is true power. Do you think the greatest leaders in history begged for respect? Do you think the wealthiest people chased money with desperation? Do you think the most desired men and women in the world pleaded for love? No. They stood in their power. They let things come to them. They knew that the moment they started chasing, they would forfeit their control. And so they remained still. They remained strong. They remained detached. And because of that, everything flowed to them naturally. Think about the most confident person you know. Think about the person who walks into a room and commands attention without saying a word. They are not the loudest. They are not the most desperate. They do not need to be seen. They simply are. They are not seeking approval, so people give it to them freely. They are not begging for opportunities, so opportunities chase them. They are magnetic, and they are magnetic because they do not need anything. That is what makes them powerful. But you are still clinging. You are still afraid. You still believe that your worth is determined by what you have, by what you achieve, by how others perceive you. And as long as you believe that, you will remain powerless. You will remain a prisoner of your own mind, trapped in a cycle of endless chasing, forever at the mercy of forces beyond your control, until you let go. Letting go does not mean giving up. It does not mean surrendering your dreams, your goals, your ambitions. It means stepping into the ultimate form of power. It means knowing deep in your core that whether or not you achieve what you desire, you are still whole. It means realizing that your worth is not dependent on anything outside of yourself. And when you finally understand this, when you finally release the need, you will see a shift that is nothing short of extraordinary. The money you once chased will start flowing effortlessly into your life. The respect you once begged for will be given to you without question. The love you once longed for will come to you freely. Not because you forced it, not because you clawed your way towards it, but because you became the kind of person who attracts it naturally. Detachment is not about being cold or emotionless. It is about reclaiming your power. It is about refusing to let your happiness be dictated by things outside of yourself. It is about moving through life with unshakable certainty, knowing that you are whole, complete, untouchable. And that kind of energy, it is irresistible. It is unstoppable. It is the energy of those who win. So now you must ask yourself, will you continue down the path of desperation, of neediness, of powerlessness, or will you rise above it? Will you step into the kind of power that cannot be taken from you? Will you become the kind of person who does not chase but attracts, who does not beg but commands, who does not grasp but receives? The choice is yours, but understand this. Those who master detachment own the world, and those who fail to, they will forever be at the mercy of those who do. Number 3. The world respects the calm and collected. There is one undeniable truth in this world. Power belongs to those who remain calm when others crumble. The world does not respect the frantic, the panicked, the emotionally volatile. It respects those who move with precision, who do not let their emotions dictate their actions, who can stand in the middle of chaos and remain unmoved. It respects those who own themselves completely. And if you do not master this, if you allow yourself to be controlled by impulse, by fear, by external circumstances, then you will never command the respect you seek. You will remain weak. You will remain overlooked. You will remain insignificant in the eyes of those who know how to control themselves. Every time you react emotionally, every time you allow yourself to be rattled, every time you let the external world dictate your internal state, you are giving away your power. You are telling the world, I am weak, I am controlled, I do not own myself. And the world will respond accordingly. People will walk over you. They will see you as fragile, as easily manipulated, as someone whose buttons can be pushed. Opportunities will slip through your fingers because no one trusts a person who cannot even trust themselves. Chaos will rule your life because you have not yet learned how to rule your own mind. But when you relax, when you move with calculated control, when you refuse to be shaken no matter what is happening around you, everything changes. You become untouchable. You become someone people look to in times of uncertainty, someone they follow without question, someone who commands respect effortlessly. And it is effortless because true respect is never demanded. It is simply recognized. It is recognized in your posture, in your tone, in your silence, in your ability to remain steady when the world is falling apart. Look at history. Look at the figures who have left a mark on this world. The warriors, the emperors, the thinkers, the leaders. They were not people who let fear dictate their actions. They were not people who reacted impulsively. They were not people who let the opinions of others shake their resolve. They were calm, they were deliberate. They moved through life with an air of absolute certainty. And because of that, they were followed, they were respected, they were feared, because the world respects the one who cannot be rattled. When you walk into a room, people are watching. They are scanning, assessing, calculating whether you are a person of power or a person of weakness. And you reveal the answer before you even speak. If your energy is restless, if your movements are erratic, if your words are rushed, they will know instantly. You do not own yourself. But if you move with control, if you are relaxed in your power, if you speak only when necessary, they will feel it just as clearly. They will know you are someone who is to be respected. Someone who does not need to prove anything because their presence speaks for them. Most people never reach this level of control. They let their emotions dictate their fate. They lash out when they are frustrated. They shrink when they are intimidated. They try too hard to impress, not realizing that true power lies in the opposite, in not needing to impress at all, in simply being. This is why you must master yourself. This is why you must learn to relax, to move through life with the quiet confidence of someone who already knows they have won. Because when you do, everything bends to you. People listen when you speak because they sense that you do not speak out of desperation. They follow your lead because they trust the one who does not flinch under pressure. They give you what you want because you do not need it. You exude something most people lack: control. And control is irresistible. The world will test you. It will throw chaos in your path. It will try to shake you. It will challenge you at every turn. And every moment is a test of your strength. Will you react? Will you let the external dictate the internal? Will you show the world that you are just another fragile mind, easily disturbed, easily manipulated? Or will you stand firm? Will you remain unshaken? Will you prove through your stillness that you are the one in control? This is not about pretending. It is not about suppressing your emotions while secretly battling inner turmoil. It is about mastering them completely. It is about becoming so rooted in your own power that nothing external can pull you from it. It is about reaching the point where your calm is unbreakable, your confidence unshakable, your presence undeniable. Because once you reach that point, everything shifts. When people look at you, they will see something rare. They will see someone who is different. Someone who is not controlled by the same fears, the same insecurities, the same desperation that plagues everyone else. They will feel it in the way you carry yourself, in the way you pause before you speak, in the way you move through the world with absolute certainty. And because of that, they will treat you differently. They will respect you in a way they do not respect others. They will look at you and know, this is someone I cannot shake. This is someone I cannot manipulate. This is someone who owns themselves completely. And that is true power. That is what makes the world bow to you. Not aggression, not force, not loud, desperate displays of strength, but presence, but stillness, but the quiet, unbreakable energy of a person who does not need to prove anything, because they already know they are everything. Number 4, relaxation aligns you with nature's flow. You have been fighting against the current for too long, struggling, forcing, grasping at life with desperate hands, believing that if you just try harder, if you just push more, everything you desire will finally come within reach. But that is not how life works. That is not how power is attained. That is not how anything in this universe moves. Look at nature. Observe it carefully. Do you see the river straining to flow? Do you see the wind struggling to move? Do you see the trees forcing themselves to grow? No. Nature moves with an effortless rhythm, an unstoppable force that does not resist, does not fight, does not grasp. And yet it shapes mountains, bends steel, carves valleys, and builds empires of forests without ever needing to force anything. That is power. That is how you must move through life if you ever want to manifest everything you desire. You have been conditioned to believe that effort is everything, that struggle is the only path to success. But effort without alignment is wasted energy. Struggle without purpose is destruction. A man who thrashes in quicksand only sinks faster, while the one who understands the nature of the trap remains still and finds his way out. The universe is not something to be conquered. It is something to be understood. When you stop resisting, when you stop trying to force things that are not meant to be forced, you begin to move with life rather than against it. And when you do, everything changes. The doors that were once locked begin to open effortlessly. The opportunities that always seemed just out of reach suddenly fall into your hands. The things you were chasing begin to chase you instead. But this requires control. Not control over the world, control over yourself. You must master the ability to let go. And letting go is the hardest thing for those who have been taught that gripping tighter is the only way to survive. You are terrified to relax because you believe that relaxation is weakness, that if you stop pushing, you will fall behind. But the truth is, you have already been falling behind, because you have been fighting against the current instead of moving with it. You have wasted years exhausting yourself, chasing things that were never meant to be caught, holding on to situations that should have been released long ago, and all because you refused to trust the flow of life. But look at the ones who truly have power. They are not frantic, they are not desperate, they are not struggling, forcing, exhausting themselves. They move through the world with an ease that others cannot understand. They do not chase, they attract. They do not beg, they command. They do not force, they allow. And in that allowing, they receive more than those who spend their entire lives clawing for scraps. That is because they are aligned. They understand that nature rewards those who trust it. Those who move with confidence, patience, and stillness. Those who know that true power comes not from resistance, but from flow. If you want to change your life, if you want to manifest everything you desire, you must make a choice. A choice to stop fighting battles that do not need to be fought. A choice to stop wasting energy on things that are beneath you. A choice to relax, not in the sense of giving up, but in the sense of understanding that you do not need to fight for what is already yours. There's a flow to life, an invisible current that carries those who are wise enough to surrender to it. When you learn to trust it, when you learn to let go of the need to control every outcome, you begin to see how effortlessly everything can unfold. The right people come into your life without force. The right opportunities appear without struggle. The right decisions become clear without overthinking. But you cannot half commit to this. You cannot say you trust the flow of life while still clenching your fists, still trying to manipulate outcomes, still fearing the unknown. You must fully surrender. You must step back and allow life to do what it has always been trying to do. Align you with what is meant for you. And in that surrender, you will find more power than you ever did in all your years of struggle. Because that is how nature works. It does not reward the frantic. It does not empower the desperate. It does not give to those who try to take by force. It rewards those who understand its rhythm, those who move with it, those who do not waste energy on things that are outside their control. This is why the ones who seem to have everything are often the ones who are the most relaxed. They know something you do not. They know that life bends to those who do not try to force it. They know that power belongs to those who do not chase it. They know that the moment they stop resisting, they become unstoppable. And that is the knowledge you must embrace if you want to step into the life you were meant to live. So let go. Stop clenching, stop forcing, stop pushing. Relax, not because you are weak, but because you are strong enough to trust. Strong enough to know that what is meant for you will come, and what is not meant for you was never worth your energy in the first place. Strong enough to move with life rather than against it, because that is how true power is attained. Not through struggle, not through resistance, but through alignment, through trust, through the unshakable certainty that everything you desire is already making its way to you the moment you stop getting in your own way. Number 5. Anxiety blocks, calmness attracts. You are suffocating your own success. Every second of fear, every moment of doubt, every anxious thought running through your mind is a wall standing between you and everything you want. And yet, You cling to it as if it's protecting you. You let it control your actions, dictate your choices, pull you away from the life you were meant to live. You think worrying will prepare you. You think overthinking will save you. You think that if you just analyze everything enough, you'll find the perfect answer, the perfect opportunity, the perfect moment. But what has all this anxiety actually given you? More hesitation, more doubt, more missed chances, more exhaustion, and all while the ones who are calm, the ones who are confident, the ones who trust in themselves and the flow of life are walking away with everything you desire. They are not held back. They are not trapped in their own heads. They do not waste time doubting their next move. They move, and life rewards them. And here you are, still stuck. Anxiety is a self-imposed prison. It makes you believe that you are being careful when, in reality, you are only being controlled by fear. It makes you believe that you are being smart when, in reality, you are only delaying action out of uncertainty. And the worst part? The more anxious you are, the more you repel everything you want. Look around you. The most powerful people, the ones who always seem to be at the right place at the right time, the ones who effortlessly attract opportunities, they are not anxious. They are calm. They are composed. They are in control, not of the world, not of others, but of themselves. And because they are in control, the world bends to them. They walk into a room and demand attention without saying a word. They make decisions quickly, not because they are reckless, but because they trust their ability to adapt. They do not waste time doubting whether they are worthy of success. They assume it. They live in a state of certainty, and because of that, life rewards them. Now look at yourself. Look at the hesitation. Look at the fear. Look at how you second-guess your every move, how you replay conversations in your head, how you torture yourself with what-ifs and maybes while life continues moving forward without you. Look at how much energy you waste trying to control things that were never meant to be controlled. Look at how often you have stopped yourself from taking action, from speaking up, from stepping forward, because of a fear that only existed in your mind. And yet, despite all this anxiety, despite all this effort to avoid mistakes, how much closer are you to what you want? Not at all. Because anxiety does not lead you forward. It traps you in place. Calmness, however, is power. When you are calm, you think clearly. You see reality for what it is, not through the distorted lens of fear. You move with purpose, not hesitation. And most importantly, you attract the very things you have been chasing. When you are calm, people are drawn to you. They trust you. They see you as someone who knows what they are doing, even if you don't have all the answers yet. Calmness makes you magnetic. It makes opportunities seek you out. It makes success a natural result rather than an endless pursuit. But calmness is not something that happens by accident. It is something you must cultivate. It is a discipline, a decision. It is the refusal to be ruled by emotions. It is the choice to trust in yourself and the process of life rather than constantly resisting it. And it is the only way to truly manifest what you desire. Because here's the truth. When you are anxious, you are in a state of lack. You are telling yourself and the world that something is missing, that you are incomplete, that you need something outside of yourself to be whole. And life responds to that energy by keeping what you want just out of reach. But when you are calm, you operate from a place of abundance. You move as if you already have everything you need, as if success is inevitable, as if the world is working for you rather than against you. And because you believe it, it becomes reality. So stop feeding your own anxiety. Stop overthinking. Stop second-guessing. Stop hesitating. Every moment spent in fear is a moment wasted. Every second spent doubting yourself is a second you could have used to take action. You must choose. Right now, will you continue letting anxiety rule your life, keeping you stuck, keeping you small, keeping you afraid? Or will you take control? Will you decide that from this moment forward, you will no longer be a slave to fear? Because the choice is yours and only yours. And the ones who win in life are not the ones who wait until the fear disappears. They are the ones who move forward despite it. The ones who refuse to let anxiety hold them back. The ones who know that calmness is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It is the foundation of power. It is the key to manifestation. It is the difference between those who succeed and those who remain trapped in their own minds. And you, if you are willing to let go of the fear, if you are willing to step into the mindset of certainty, if you are willing to embrace calmness as your new default state, you will see just how quickly everything you desire begins to move toward you. Because anxiety blocks, but calmness attracts. And the moment you understand that, the game changes forever. Number 6, the strongest fighters conserve their energy. You are bleeding energy. Every second you waste on things that don't serve you, every argument you entertain, every unnecessary fight you pick, every reaction you give away for free, it's all draining you. You don't even realize how much power you're throwing away until you have nothing left for what actually matters. You think strength is about always being on the attack, about proving yourself in every battle, about responding to every challenge. But the truth is, the strongest warriors are the ones who know when to strike and when to stand still. The ones who understand that energy is a resource, not to be scattered carelessly, but to be channeled with precision. Look at the greatest fighters in history. They do not swing wildly. They do not waste motion. They do not engage unless absolutely necessary. And when they do, they strike with force, with purpose, with finality. They conserve their energy because they know that endurance is what wins wars, not mindless aggression. And yet, here you are, exhausting yourself in battles that do not matter, draining your power on things that do not bring you closer to victory, arguing with fools, reacting to every slight, chasing after things that are running from you. You are scattering your energy in every direction and wondering why you feel so drained, so frustrated, so stuck. You must wake up. You must see the truth. The strongest are not the loudest. The most powerful do not waste themselves on trivial things. They do not get baited into meaningless conflict. They do not move just for the sake of moving. They understand that real power is restraint, that every ounce of energy spent must be an investment, not an impulse, that every action must serve a purpose, must bring them closer to their goal. If it does not, it is discarded. They do not fight for their ego. They do not react out of emotion. They wait, they watch, they calculate, and then when the time is right, they unleash everything. Not in fragments, not in hesitation, but in full force. And because they have conserved their energy, because they have not wasted themselves on the insignificant, their strike is devastating. Their impact is undeniable. Look at your own life. Look at how often you have exhausted yourself for nothing. Look at how many arguments you have won that left you no better off. Look at how much time you have spent chasing, convincing, explaining yourself to people who were never going to understand you anyway. Look at how much energy you have poured into fear, into doubt, into hesitation. And ask yourself, where has it led you? Has it made you stronger? Has it brought you closer to what you want? Or has it only left you depleted, drained, and desperate for more? The ones who win in life are the ones who learn to hold their energy, to move with intention, to know when to act and when to wait. There is power in restraint. There is power in not reacting. There is power in being the one who does not flinch, who does not engage unless it is absolutely necessary. And when you learn this, when you master this, you will see how much stronger you become. You will see how much more control you have over your own life. Because when you stop wasting energy, you gain the ability to use it when it truly counts. You gain the power to hit harder, to last longer, to achieve more with less effort. You stop being controlled by every passing impulse and start operating on a level that most people will never understand. The strongest fighters conserve their energy. The wisest warriors do not fight every battle. The ones who win in life are not the ones who burn out first, but the ones who endure, the ones who strike only when it truly matters. And if you want to manifest everything you desire, if you want to step into the highest version of yourself, you must learn this. You must stop throwing your power away. You must stop reacting to everything. Stop chasing everything. Stop letting the world pull you in every direction. You must take control. You must become disciplined. You must understand that energy is everything, and the way you use it will determine the life you create. So ask yourself right now, are you in control of your energy? Or are you wasting it on things that do not serve you? Are you moving with purpose, or are you flailing wildly, hoping something sticks? Because the ones who learn to conserve, the ones who learn to be still, the ones who know when to wait and when to act. They are the ones who rise. They are the ones who dominate. They are the ones who get everything they have ever wanted, while the rest burn themselves out, chasing after nothing. Please help spread this ancient wisdom to more people. Hit subscribe, smash the like button, and drop a comment below. It's just one click, but it ensures you never miss powerful insights. Number 7. Emotional mastery creates mental strength. You feel it every single day. That inner storm raging inside you, the frustration, the anger, the doubt, the fear. It grips you, shakes you, tosses you around like a violent sea swallowing up a ship too small to stand against its force. And you let it. You let every emotion dictate your actions. You let every passing feeling control your decisions. One moment you are confident, unshakable. The next you are drowning in self-doubt. One moment you are disciplined, focused, unstoppable. The next you are crumbling under pressure, giving in to impulses that you swore you had under control. Why? Because you have not mastered yourself. Because you have allowed emotions to take the driver's seat in your life. And until you take back control, you will never be free. Do you understand how much power you are giving away? Every time you let anger consume you, every time you let anxiety dictate your actions, every time you react without thinking, you are throwing away your power. You are handing over control to things outside of you, to other people, to situations, to circumstances. You become a puppet, pulled by invisible strings, completely unaware that you are the one allowing it to happen. And then you wonder why you don't have the results you want. You wonder why you aren't where you should be in life. You wonder why you feel so lost, so stuck, so trapped inside your own mind. The answer is simple: you have never learned how to master yourself. But let me tell you something. Every great leader, every powerful figure, every warrior, every conqueror, every master of their craft has had one thing in common: emotional mastery. Not intelligence, not strength, not luck. Control. Because power is not in the hands of those who scream the loudest. It does not belong to those who react the fastest. It belongs to those who stand firm while the rest of the world panics. It belongs to those who see clearly while others are blinded by emotion. It belongs to those who refuse to be controlled by anything outside of themselves. Look around you. Look at the people who are constantly reacting, constantly caught in their emotions, constantly being thrown around by every small inconvenience, every moment of uncertainty, every unexpected challenge. They crumble under pressure. They let their feelings dictate their choices, and because of that they remain weak, they remain stuck, they remain powerless. And when they fail, they blame the world, they blame other people, they blame circumstances. But the truth is, they have only themselves to blame, because they never had control in the first place. And then look at the greats, the ones who move through life with precision, with certainty, with absolute authority over themselves. They do not panic when things go wrong. They do not waste energy on emotions that do not serve them. They do not react, they respond, with purpose, with strategy, with complete mastery over their own mind. That is why they win. That is why they rise while others fall. That is why they manifest exactly what they want, while the rest of the world watches in envy. Emotional mastery is not about suppressing your emotions. It is not about pretending they do not exist. It is about owning them so complete that they can no longer own you. It is about feeling anger, but not acting on it like a fool. It is about experiencing fear but moving forward anyway. It is about being disappointed, frustrated, hurt, but never letting those emotions dictate your actions. It is about choosing your response instead of letting emotions choose it for you. Do you understand what kind of power that gives you? Imagine standing in the middle of chaos, in the middle of stress, in the middle of uncertainty, and feeling nothing but absolute control. Imagine someone insulting you, provoking you, trying to break you, and you remain completely unshaken. Imagine facing the hardest challenges of your life with complete clarity, making the right decisions, staying focused, staying disciplined, staying untouchable. That is the power of emotional mastery. That is the power of being in control of yourself, while everyone else is being controlled by their emotions. The moment you master this, everything changes. The world starts to respect you. People start to listen to you. Opportunities start coming to you. Not because you are louder, not because you are stronger, but because you radiate power. You exude an energy that commands attention, that demands respect, that separates you from the weak-minded masses who are constantly at war with themselves. You move differently. You think differently. And because of that, you live differently. But let me be clear, this is not something you wake up with. This is not something that just happens because you decide you want it. This takes discipline, this takes practice, this takes ruthless self-awareness. You have to catch yourself when you start slipping. You have to stop yourself when you feel emotions taking control. You have to train yourself every single day to remain still when everything inside of you wants to react. And most people won't do it. Most people will continue being ruled by their feelings. Most people will continue justifying their emotional weakness. Most people will stay exactly where they are, making excuses, blaming everything but themselves. But you are not most people. You are here because you want more. You are here because you refuse to settle for mediocrity. You are here because deep down, you know you are capable of more. Capable of mastering yourself, of mastering your mind, of controlling your emotions instead of being controlled by them. And the moment you commit to that, the moment you decide that you will no longer be a slave to reaction, the moment you take full responsibility for your own mental strength, you will become unstoppable. No one will be able to shake you. No situation will be able to break you. No emotion will be able to control you. You will move with purpose, with clarity, with complete command over yourself and your life. And that is when you will start manifesting exactly what you want. Because the world does not give power to the emotionally weak. It does not reward those who are unstable, who react, who crumble under pressure. It rewards those who have mastered themselves, those who stand firm while others fall apart, those who refuse to be controlled by anything but their own mind. So the question is, are you ready to take that control? Are you ready to stop reacting, to stop making excuses, to stop being at the mercy of every emotion that enters your mind? Are you ready to stand up and take back the power you've been giving away your entire life? If you are, then decide right now that you will no longer be ruled by emotions. Decide that from this moment on, you are in control. Not your anger, not your fear, not your doubt, you. And when you do that, when you fully commit to emotional mastery, you will unlock a level of power that most people will never even come close to. You will become untouchable. You will become unstoppable. And you will start to manifest everything you have ever wanted. Because the world does not give power to those who react. It gives power to those who control. Number 8, confidence is rooted in relaxation. You've heard it 1,000 times. Confidence is key. People say it like it's some magical trait that you either have or you don't. They tell you that to be successful, you need confidence. Like it's a lucky coin you can just find, or an easy trait you can acquire by wearing the right clothes or speaking the right words. But let me tell you something. Confidence is not something you acquire. It's not something that is given to you by others, and it sure as hell isn't something you can fake. Confidence is the result of relaxation, of a mind and body that are at peace with themselves. Confidence is not loud, it's not brash, it is calm, it is grounded, it is rooted in the understanding that you have nothing to prove to anyone. When you are truly confident, you don't have to shout, you don't have to force, you simply are. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking you've tried to be confident. You've tried to wear the right clothes, stand a certain way, say the right things, look people in the eye. You've tried all of it, and yet you still feel like an imposter. You still feel like you don't belong. You still feel like there's something missing. You know why? Because confidence doesn't come from all those external factors. It doesn't come from posturing or pretending. It comes from being relaxed. Think about it. When you are relaxed, you are present. When you are relaxed, you are grounded. And when you are grounded, nothing can shake you. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop worrying about what others think of you. You stop questioning your every move. You stop pretending to be something you're not. You are just yourself. And that is the power of relaxation. You stop searching for validation because you already know your worth. You stop chasing approval because you no longer need it. This is why relaxation is the foundation of true confidence. When your mind is relaxed, you no longer live in fear. You no longer live in the constant anxiety of wondering if you're good enough, wondering if you're making the right decision, wondering if you'll be accepted. Relaxation brings clarity. It gives you the space to think clearly, to make decisions with certainty, to act with purpose. And that is the essence of true confidence, the ability to act with clarity and certainty. But there's more to it. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's not about being the best at everything. True confidence comes from knowing that no matter what happens, you are enough. That no matter what the world throws at you, you can handle it. It's about understanding that failure is not a reflection of your worth. It's simply a part of the process. The relaxed mind knows that. The anxious mind, on the other hand, sees failure as a threat. It sees mistakes as evidence of weakness. But the relaxed mind, it sees mistakes as growth, as opportunities to learn, to refine, to adjust. When you are relaxed, failure does not scare you. Failure does not define you. And the world sees that. People see that. People respect it. They sense it in the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you move. They respect your confidence because it is unshakable. It is rooted in something deeper than external appearances. It is rooted in the knowledge that you are in control. You don't need to impress anyone. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need to chase validation. You already have it within you. That, my friend, is true power. But most people never reach this level of confidence. Why? Because they are too busy chasing after the wrong things. They are too busy running on empty, pretending to be something they're not, trying to measure up to someone else's standards. And in that constant chase, they lose themselves. They lose their sense of self-worth. They lose their sense of peace. And without that inner peace, there can be no true confidence. You see, the moment you stop chasing, the moment you stop running from one thing to the next in search of validation, the moment you stop seeking approval from others, that's when your true confidence will emerge. When you stop searching for what you already have within yourself, that's when the world will finally see you for who you really are. Because confidence does not come from outside of you. It does not come from what you wear, or how you speak, or what people say about you. Confidence comes from within, and that confidence is born when you learn to relax, when you learn to accept yourself exactly as you are, and when you stop letting the world dictate your worth. I need you to understand this. When you are relaxed, you can face anything. You can walk into any room, speak to any person, take on any challenge, and you will feel unshakable. You will feel like you belong there, like you have earned your place. Why? Because you know that you are enough. You know that you don't need to try harder. You don't need to pretend to be someone you're not. You don't need to compete with anyone. You are already the person you need to be. And when you step into that, when you own it, that is when people will take notice. That is when opportunities will start to open up to you. Not because you tried to force them, not because you chased them down, but because you were simply being who you are. And in that state of being, you radiated an energy that attracted everything you wanted. So let me ask you, are you ready to stop chasing? Are you ready to stop trying to impress others? Are you ready to finally embrace the power that lies within you? Because that power can only be unlocked when you relax. When you stop forcing, stop struggling, stop pretending. You are not here to live in fear, in doubt, in anxiety. You are here to live with confidence, with certainty, with the unshakable knowledge that you have everything you need inside of you to manifest everything you desire. The world does not respect the anxious, the insecure, the desperate. The world respects those who stand tall, who move with calm assurance, who know their worth without needing to prove it. And that, my friend, is the power that lies within you. It is time to relax, and in doing so, to unlock the confidence you need to manifest everything you want. Number 9. Relaxation strengthens decision-making. Every choice you make shapes the direction of your life. Every decision, no matter how small, sends you down a path that determines whether you rise or fall, succeed or fail, dominate or remain weak. The difference between those who win and those who lose is not luck, not talent, not intelligence. It is the ability to make clear, decisive choices at the right time. And yet, most people go through life making decisions in a state of panic, fear, and hesitation. They allow stress and anxiety to cloud their judgment, making them impulsive, reckless, or worse, paralyzed with indecision. They make choices out of desperation, clinging to whatever seems safest, whatever requires the least risk, whatever feeds their immediate emotions, and in doing so, they throw away their power. Because a mind that is not calm is a mind that is weak. A mind that cannot relax cannot think. And a mind that cannot think is doomed to make weak, pathetic decisions that lead to failure. You need to understand this. Every great leader, every powerful figure, every master strategist operates from a place of stillness. They do not react emotionally. They do not make hasty choices. They do not allow pressure to dictate their actions. They move with certainty, not because they are fearless, but because they have mastered the ability to remain relaxed under all circumstances. Relaxation is not passivity, it is control. When you are relaxed, you are in command of yourself. You are not swayed by the chaos around you. You are not weakened by panic. You are not blinded by desperation. You see with clarity. You think with precision. You move with purpose. And that is what separates those who win from those who crumble under pressure. When the mind is relaxed, it is like a still lake, reflecting everything with perfect clarity. Every option is clear, every possibility is visible, every outcome can be weighed with sharp, strategic thinking. But when the mind is restless, when it is filled with doubt, fear, and tension, it becomes like a stormy sea, chaotic, unpredictable, and dangerous. You cannot see through the waves. You cannot predict what will happen next. You are at the mercy of forces outside your control. And that is why weak men make bad decisions. They are ruled by their emotions. They are puppets to fear, to anxiety, to stress. They make decisions out of impulse, out of panic, out of a desperate need to escape discomfort. And they fail. Over and over again, they fail. But the man who has trained himself to remain relaxed in all situations, he is untouchable. He does not allow external forces to shake him. He does not allow pressure to dictate his choices. He remains still, poised, calculating. He chooses his moves with precision. Because he is not reacting, he is responding with intelligence. This is what makes a man powerful. This is what makes a man dangerous. You have to ask yourself, how many of your worst decisions were made when you were stressed? How many times did you act out of fear, out of doubt, out of anger? How many times did you look back and realize that if you had simply calmed down, if you had taken a moment to breathe, if you had not let your emotions take control, you would have made a better choice? You would have saved yourself pain. You would have saved yourself regret. You would have taken the path that led to victory instead of the one that led to loss. This is why relaxation is not a luxury. It is not something soft, weak, or passive. It is a necessity for anyone who wants to dominate in life. It is a weapon. It is an advantage. It is what allows you to see what others cannot see, to think in ways that others cannot think, to make moves that others are too blinded by stress to even consider. It is the key to outmaneuvering everyone around you, because when they are frantic, you are composed. When they are uncertain, you are deliberate. When they are making mistakes, you are executing perfection. This is how wars are won. This is how empires are built. This is how kings rule. You do not need to be the smartest. You do not need to be the most talented. You do not need to have all the answers. You simply need to master the ability to remain relaxed in moments where others would break. If you can do this, you will hold an advantage over almost everyone. Because most people will always be slaves to their emotions. They will always be prisoners of their own chaotic minds. They will always make weak, desperate choices that destroy their potential. But you will not. You will remain calm. You will remain powerful. You will think, act, and move like a master of your fate. The ability to relax is not something you wait for. It is not something that happens by accident. It is something you train. It is something you demand from yourself. You must make it a priority to take control of your mind, to silence the noise, to become unshakable in the face of pressure. Because the world will test you. It will throw obstacles in your path. It will push you to your limits. It will force you into situations where the weak-willed crumble. And in those moments, you will have a choice. You can panic. You can let fear take over. You can make weak, desperate moves like everyone else. Or you can remain relaxed. You can stay in control. You can make the right choice, even when everything around you is telling you to panic. This is what separates the leaders from the followers, the strong from the weak, the winners from the losers. This is what will determine whether you take control of your destiny or remain a victim of your own mind. And the decision is entirely yours. So I ask you, will you continue to make decisions from a place of fear, of panic, of anxiety, or will you take control? Will you train yourself to remain calm, to remain clear, to make choices that lead to power instead of regret? The choice is in your hands. But understand this, the man who cannot relax will never be in control. He will always be ruled by forces outside of himself. He will always be a slave to his own emotions, and that is not a way to live. Decide now. Decide that you will no longer allow stress, anxiety, and fear to dictate your choices. Decide that from this moment forward, you will train yourself to be relaxed in all situations. Decide that you will take control of your mind, your actions, and your future. Because once you do this, you will never be the same again. You will never doubt yourself again. You will never make another decision from a place of fear again. You will move through life with power, with certainty, with absolute control. And when you do that, there will be nothing that can stop you. Number 10. When you stop chasing, you start receiving. You have spent your whole life chasing success, chasing wealth, chasing love, power, respect. You run after everything you desire with desperation clawing at your throat, fear gripping your chest, urgency shaking your hands. You believe that if you don't push hard enough, if you don't fight ruthlessly, if you don't exhaust yourself in the pursuit, you will lose everything. You've been trained to believe that effort is everything, that movement equals progress, that the harder you chase, the more you will get. But that is a lie. A deception so deep that it has ruined men, broken empires, and destroyed lives. Because when you chase, you repel. When you grasp, you lose. When you act from desperation, the universe gives you nothing. And you have felt this. You have felt the sting of running after opportunities only to watch them slip through your fingers. You have felt the humiliation of chasing people who do not respect you. You have felt the exhaustion of reaching for things that always seem just out of your grasp. And yet, you still do it. You still chase. Because you have not yet understood the truth. The truth is this: power belongs to the one who can walk away. Strength belongs to the one who does not beg, who does not plead, who does not clutch at things with trembling hands. The moment you stop chasing, you start receiving. Because chasing is an act of lack. It is an act of fear. It is a signal to the world that you do not believe in your own power, that you do not trust in your own worth, that you are not in control. And the world punishes that. The world does not reward the desperate. It rewards the calm. It rewards the composed. It rewards the man who knows that he does not need to chase, because what is meant for him will come to him. And do not mistake this for passivity. Do not mistake this for inaction. This is not about sitting back and doing nothing. This is about shifting from force to presence, from need to certainty, from fear to command. When you relax, when you let go of the chase, you do not stop moving. You move differently. You move with the confidence of a king, not the desperation of a beggar. You make choices from power, not panic. You stop reaching for what does not belong to you and allow what is truly yours to find you. This is why the man who does not chase is the man who wins. He is the one who walks into a room and commands respect without asking for it. He is the one who attracts opportunities without scrambling for them. He is the one who is pursued, sought after, given power, because he does not show the weakness of needing anything outside of himself. This is the mindset of a conqueror. This is the energy of someone who cannot be ignored. And yet, you still chase. You still act from a place of desperation. You still grasp at things as if your life depends on them. And that is why you lose. That is why you struggle. That is why everything you want seems to move further away the harder you reach. Because you do not yet understand what it means to be in control. You do not yet understand what it means to stand still in your own power and let the world come to you. You do not yet understand that the second you stop chasing is the second you start receiving. Think about it. Think about the moments in your life where things fell into place effortlessly. Think about the times when success came to you without struggle, when people respected you without you needing to prove yourself, when opportunities landed in your lap because you were simply being instead of forcing. That was not an accident. That was alignment. That was you, for a brief moment, stepping into your power and allowing what was meant for you to come without resistance. But then, what did you do? You fell back into fear. You fell back into the trap of thinking that if you don't fight for something, you will lose it. And so you chased again. You clutched, you forced, you became desperate. And the moment you did that, everything fell apart. Everything that was coming toward you turned away. Everything that was within reach slipped out of your hands. Because the energy of desperation is repulsive. Nothing valuable, nothing lasting, nothing powerful comes to the man who chases. And if you do not understand this, if you do not embrace this, you will spend the rest of your life running after things that were never meant to be caught. You will die exhausted, empty, and unfulfilled, wondering why nothing ever truly worked, why you never truly felt powerful, why you always felt like you were at the mercy of something outside of yourself. And that is a miserable existence. That is a fate worse than failure. Because failure at least gives you a lesson, but a life spent chasing gives you nothing but regret. So stop. Stop the madness. Stop the running. Stop the desperate need to control everything, to force everything, to chase everything. Stand still. Own your presence. Command your space. Let go of the things that were never truly meant for you. And watch as the things that are come to you with ease. Watch as the world bends to you, as people respect you without you demanding it, as opportunities flow to you like water, because you are no longer blocking them with your desperation. This is not a theory. This is not philosophy. This is law. This is the reality of how power works, how attraction works, how manifestation works. And the sooner you accept it, the sooner you will see the truth. The moment you stop chasing, you start receiving. The moment you stop needing, you start having. The moment you stop fearing, you start winning. This is the way. This is the only way. You can keep running, keep exhausting yourself, keep begging for what will never be yours, or you can stop, turn around, and own what is already within you. The choice is yours. But understand this, only one of these choices leads to power. Only one of these choices leads to the life you want. Decide wisely. We have more interesting videos about Stoicism and the way of life. If you want to watch a video about Become Unrecognizable, Change Your Life in 1 week, please click link above in the video. If you like the video, or you don't want to miss further videos about Stoicism, please subscribe. Number 11. Mastering patience gives you the ultimate advantage. Patience is not weakness. It is not passivity. It is not sitting idly while the world moves around you. It is power in its purest form. It is the discipline to wait while others panic, the strength to hold steady while others rush into mistakes, the unwavering certainty that what is meant for you will come when the time is right. The man who masters patience is the man who controls the game. He is the one who watches others crumble under their own desperation while he stands firm, untouched, unstoppable. The world belongs to him because he does not act out of fear. He does not chase, he does not force, he does not rush, he waits. And in his waiting, he wins. You do not yet understand this. You are still caught in the illusion that speed is strength, that rushing toward your desires will bring them faster, that the one who moves first always wins. But that is a lie. That is the deception that keeps weak men running in circles while the strong remain still, watching, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Look at the greatest warriors, the most powerful leaders, the ones who shape history. They do not move impulsively. They are not reckless. They are not desperate. They understand that patience is the key to absolute control. They understand that the man who can wait longer than his opponent will always come out victorious. And yet, you rush. You jump at opportunities that are not ready for you. You push for results before the foundation is even built. You act out of fear, out of insecurity, out of a desperate need to prove something, to have something, to be something right now. And that is why you fail. That is why you make mistakes. That is why you find yourself exhausted, defeated, wondering why things are not falling into place. because you do not have the discipline to wait. You do not have the strength to hold back. You do not have the patience to allow things to come together in their own time. Patience is not inaction. It is not weakness. It is the most calculated, most strategic, most ruthless form of power. It is the ability to see beyond the moment, to understand that not everything is meant to happen on your timeline. It is knowing that just because you desire something now does not mean you are ready for it now. It is the ability to endure the wait without breaking, without crumbling, without surrendering to impatience. And that is what separates the great from the average. You want success, but you do not want to wait for it. You want mastery, but you do not want to put in the years of work. You want respect, but you demand it instead of earning it over time. You want love, but you force it, manipulate it, try to take it before it is freely given. And in your impatience, you destroy everything before it has the chance to grow. You suffocate your opportunities, you ruin relationships, you sabotage your own progress because you do not understand one fundamental truth. The greatest things in life take time. A warrior does not rush into battle without a plan. A king does not make decisions in haste. A builder does not rush the foundation of a castle. Everything that is meant to last, everything that is meant to be powerful, is built with patience, because anything gained too quickly is lost just as fast. And if you do not learn this now, you will spend your entire life chasing things that crumble in your hands the moment you grasp them. You must develop the ability to wait, to hold your position while others crumble, to trust in the process even when nothing seems to be happening, to endure the silence, the stillness, the feeling of stagnation without breaking under the pressure. Because this is where true power is forged. This is where the weak fall apart and the strong rise. If you can master patience, you can master anything. You will no longer make desperate decisions. You will no longer be swayed by fear. You will no longer be a slave to impulse, to urgency, to the illusion that you must act now or lose everything. Understand this. The man who can wait will always control the man who cannot. The one who remains calm will always have the advantage over the one who panics. The one who moves with precision, who waits for the exact right moment instead of lunging at every opportunity, will always come out on top. This is the way of kings. This is the mindset of the conqueror. The world belongs to the man who has the discipline to wait while others self-destruct. But patience is painful, isn't it? It is uncomfortable. It forces you to sit with your doubts, your fears, your insecurities. It forces you to confront the fact that you are not in control of time, that some things are beyond your grasp, that no amount of rushing will bring them faster. And that is why most people cannot do it. That is why they jump at the first opportunity instead of waiting for the best one. That is why they settle for mediocre lives, mediocre relationships, mediocre success, because they do not have the patience to wait for what is truly meant for them. You must be different. You must be stronger than that. You must develop the ability to endure the waiting period without breaking. You must trust in the fact that what is meant for you will come to you if you are willing to wait for it. You must understand that patience is not just an advantage, it is the advantage. It is the thing that will separate you from the rest of the world. It is the thing that will make you untouchable. Because when you master patience, you become unshakable. You no longer act out of fear. You no longer react emotionally. You no longer chase things that are not meant for you. You move with certainty, with control, with absolute dominance over yourself and your life. And that is the kind of power that cannot be ignored. So you must decide. Will you be the one who rushes, who panics, who makes reckless decisions out of fear? Or will you be the one who waits, who watches, who moves only when the time is right? One of these choices leads to power, the other leads to failure. The choice is yours, but choose wisely, because your entire future depends on it. Number 12. Stillness is the gateway to true creativity. Stillness is not emptiness, it is not passivity, it is not weakness. It is the single most powerful force you can harness, and yet you reject it. You run from it. You fill every moment with noise, with distractions, with mindless movement, because you fear what will happen if you stop. You fear silence. You fear facing yourself. But that is precisely why you remain stuck. That is why your mind is chaotic, why your ideas feel dull, why your creativity is suffocated under the weight of endless busyness. You have no room to think, no space to create, no stillness to allow inspiration to emerge. You are drowning in noise, and you wonder why you cannot hear the voice of your own genius. The truth is brutal, and I will not soften it for you. If you cannot master stillness, you will never create anything truly great. You will never tap into the depths of your own mind. You will never reach that level of brilliance that makes others stop and listen. Because true creativity, the kind that shakes the world, the kind that moves people, the kind that stands the test of time, only comes from stillness. It is not found in frantic effort. It is not born from desperation. It is not forced through endless struggle. It emerges from the quiet, from the spaces between your thoughts, from the silence you are too afraid to sit in. You do not understand this because you have been conditioned to believe that more effort, more action, more movement equals progress. But creativity does not work that way. The greatest artists, the greatest thinkers, the greatest innovators in history knew this. They understood that inspiration cannot be hunted, cannot be forced, cannot be chained down by constant activity. They knew that their best ideas came in moments of stillness, when their minds were clear, when they were not grasping desperately for answers. They knew that to create something truly powerful, they had to let it come to them. And yet, you scramble. You panic when you hit a creative block. You fill your mind with distractions, hoping that something will spark inspiration. You force yourself to work, even when your mind is exhausted, even when the ideas refuse to come. And in doing so, you drive creativity further away. You block it with your own desperation. You suffocate it with your refusal to be still. You cannot chase creativity. You cannot demand it to appear on command. It does not work like that. It never has. Creativity is a force of nature, and nature does not obey your frantic demands. It moves in its own time, in its own way, and it only reveals itself to those who have the discipline to be still long enough to receive it. You must understand this. The mind is like water. When it is agitated, when it is restless, when it is filled with noise and movement, it becomes cloudy, chaotic, unable to reflect anything clearly. But when it is still, when it is calm, when it is undisturbed by the endless rushing of the world, it becomes clear. It becomes a mirror for the deepest insights, the most profound ideas, the kind of creativity that others can only dream of. But you will never reach that level if you cannot master stillness. If you cannot sit with your own thoughts without reaching for a distraction, without filling the silence with pointless noise, without numbing yourself with endless activity, this is not a game. This is not optional. This is the difference between those who create work that lasts for generations and those who produce forgettable, meaningless nonsense. The world does not need more rushed, shallow, uninspired creations. It does not need more noise. It needs depth. It needs originality. It needs work that comes from a place of true clarity, true stillness, true mastery. And that means you must learn to step away. You must learn to do nothing in order to create something. You must learn to sit in the silence, to let the mind settle, to let inspiration rise naturally, rather than trying to force it through sheer willpower. You will resist this. Your mind will tell you that you must keep working, that you must keep pushing, that stillness is a waste of time. That is the lie that keeps most people trapped in mediocrity. That is the deception that keeps people producing meaningless work, work that fades the moment it is released. But you are not here to be average. You are not here to produce what everyone else produces. You are here to create something that matters. And that means you must be willing to step away from the noise, to cultivate the kind of mind that is sharp, clear, and ready to receive inspiration when it arrives. Because that is the secret. Creativity is not created, it is received. The greatest ideas do not come from force. They come from stillness. They come when the mind is quiet enough to hear them. They come when you are present enough to notice them. They come when you are patient enough to let them arrive on their own, instead of chasing them down like a desperate fool. The strong do not chase, the strong attract. And that applies to creativity just as much as anything else in life. So you must choose. Will you continue running in circles, filling every moment with meaningless distractions, convincing yourself that more movement equals more progress? Or will you have the discipline to stop, to be still, to create the space necessary for your own mind to do what it was designed to do? Most people will not do this. Most people will continue to scramble, to force, to rush, and they will wonder why their ideas are dull, why their work is forgettable, why they never tap into the true depths of their own potential. But you do not have to be like them. You can be different, you can be smarter, you can be better, but only if you learn the power of stillness, only if you have the courage to embrace silence, only if you understand that the greatest creativity is not forced, it is allowed. It is given to those who are disciplined enough to wait for it, to listen for it, to clear the noise long enough to hear the ideas that the restless, desperate, impatient world will never have access to. So stop chasing, stop forcing, stop drowning yourself in endless movement. Be still, be silent, and watch what happens.